Alright, so welcome to the second part of my first 14 days doing SHIPT. So I started taping this a couple of minutes ago, but my daughter knocked on the door while I was in the middle of filming, and I just went ahead and deleted that video. Because I don't really edit in my videos, I really just talk, and hopefully I'm captivating enough for you guys to listen in. So where I last left off, I was talking about my first order, and now I'm going to pick up from that. If you haven't seen the part one, you'll kind of get an idea of where I'm at. Typically, I film my videos in parts, so you can pick and choose what you want to listen to and what you don't want to listen to. But generally, I hope people tune in enough to watch all videos to get the full story. Because right now, there isn't anyone on YouTube currently right now that has any video that's really talking about their experience and what they're encountered. And I'm going to probably try to do as many videos as I can do today on my experience, and then also my opinions, and then also my tips. So my second order ended up being after I worked at the bank. Like I had said in my prior video, I got to my job about a half an hour earlier than scheduled. My telecoordinator was totally fine with me coming in earlier, which allowed me to leave a half an hour earlier. So giving me that extra half an hour to leave made my next shopping trip very successful, because I needed at least 30 minutes to commute to that area, and I really wanted to work in a different area than which I live. So what I did was I commuted to further north of where I work, both my part-time jobs, up further north to an area that tends to be a little bit more affluent. Just to see, I've never shopped in this particular Publix, but I know that the surrounding homes, the people there are normally like affluent. So I wanted to see what it was like to shop there and also deliver, and also get to see the different neighborhoods. So when I got there, it was smart that I got there half an hour early, because I needed the time. As I said in the prior video, didn't give myself enough time to shop. So this time it allowed me commuting time, and I think I had gotten there maybe an hour or more before the scheduled delivery time. And this order was fairly large. So I can't really, I'm not sure if I'm going to put my reading glasses on. I'm not sure if the receipt tells you how many items you have. But a lot of my receipts are really long, because they were, I guess, wanting a survey. But on Publix receipts, they don't really give you an item total. But to me, it was a fairly large order. So I'll give you an idea of how much. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. There's a lot of items on this receipt. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. Okay, so there's about 46 items on this order, which is really a lot. Also, once I text them that I had arrived at the store, I also started getting some things that they wanted to add on. There were several things they wanted to add on, which now once again, this is my second order I've ever done with SHIPT. So I was a little nervous about adding things on. Some of the things I scanned weren't the items, so I had a double take and look just to make sure that I'm correct. So here we go, Publix again. First few items in, I'm already not finding what they asked for. So as I'm texting the customer, letting them know that they don't have the item, they're then letting me know, oh yeah, by the way, we need this. Oh, by the way, we need this. So adding any of the substitutions weren't too hard. I think I navigated through that pretty easily. They give you an area where you can scan for a substitute, but I don't think I even noticed that until, I would say, a couple of orders in, how easy it was to do that. Texting the customer, letting them know that the item is out, as it was really easy. You click on that and it's already a preempted text message to help you fill in the blanks. I'm not even sure at that point I had started taking pictures, a photo of the substitutions or the choices that I may suggest to them. But for an order that's being my second order in, I think I did pretty good adding in substitutions. So I leave out the Publix. You know, you generally, you know, been in communication with the customer the whole entire time. And towards the end, I normally let them know I'm about to check out, to let them know that if you want to add anything else onto your order, you know, let me know at this point. But they seem very communicative and very friendly. The lady was really nice. And I check out, not really paying attention to what the cashier is doing. I'm assuming, because I work at Publix, she knows how to cashier and won't overcharge you. So me being so adamant on being on time, I think the delivery, I had checked out around 5:29. So I'm thinking the order may have been due at 6 to 7. I don't know if I was really truly late or not, but I don't think I was though. But I take a photo of the receipt, let her send the text, I'm on my way. Google Maps navigates me to the destination. Not too hard to find, no problems getting there. Get to there, and this particular location was a private home, and they had a really narrow driveway and a small driveway. So basically you would have either had to back out the driveway or be able to maneuver your car enough to turn around and go back out. So when I got there, it was a older couple. They were very, very nice. I took everything in. I didn't want the gentleman to carry anything in because, you know, I'm fine. You know, I'm young. I feel I'm young enough, and they're paying for a service, so I didn't feel it was necessary for them to, you know, assist me. So, you know, I'm being friendly, I'm being myself, and I'm chit-chatting with them and this, that, and the other. And, you know, I let them know I'm using reusable bags. I hope you're okay with that. I did use some shopping bags because their order was so large, and they had a lot of toiletry items, so I've never mixed that with the food because I'm sensitive to that. So they appreciated my organization skills, that I got everything on their order, and that I was friendly and, you know, talkative with them. And right before I leave, the lady gives me a $20 cash tip. So when I saw that, this is being my second order, I was just like, wow. I mean, I was kind of taken aback for, you know, me getting this such large of a tip. So I basically was like, you know, I left, I thanked them, but I wasn't really expecting it. I got out of their narrow driveway. I decided not to back out. I decided to turn around and go out that way without causing any damage to my vehicle or anything they had in their driveway. But it was an odd shaped driveway. And I knew I had my next order was going to be downtown, which is close to where I live. Not the location, not the zone that's closest to where I live, but downtown. I'm kind of sandwiched in between the location that I work at, plus the downtown area. So I knew it was going to take me a good half an hour. Mind you, it's now after 6, so you have to factor in your time, you know, commuting from one place. So I'm far north, trying to go further south, and it's during a peak time. But I'm a pretty good driver, and I know how to maneuver around the city I live in, and I never really find that as a stressful thing. But you got to be really careful, because I think like in any major city, people drive kind of crazy. So you want to make sure that you're always being safe, but also efficiently getting to where you need to get so you have enough time to shop. So by the time I got to my third shipped order of the day, and this was going to be my final, because it's getting rather late in the day, and even though my husband was off of work that day, I still didn't want to be getting in after 10 o'clock. I think anytime before 9 was my latest that I was willing to work, because I work also at the bank, and even though I'm part-time at the bank, it's a lot of energy to be, happy, peppy, efficient, professional, and, keep a high energy. It takes a lot out of you. So I took this last order because it was downtown, it was close to where I live, so I knew I wouldn't be driving that far out of the way. And on my first day, I felt like I got a good idea of different zones that may interest me for future. So when I got downtown, I texted the customer and let them know that I was there. And here we go again. This is another Publix. As soon as I get there, one of the first items that that's on the list, they don't have it. So here we go with the texting. It's a lot of time texting and communicating that way, and getting a dialogue going. Sometimes some people take a while to respond. So if you can get in as soon as possible, any things that are out, do it as you go along and keep on shopping. You may have to come back to that aisle once they respond to you. A lot of customers are not that bad at communicating. If you text them that you just got there, that means that they're near their phone, close enough to respond. So I texted I got there. The person responded with a thumbs up emoji. So I was like, okay, they're not going to be very talkative. That's what I'm thinking initially. So as soon as one item was out, here we go, the communication lines start opening up. When you're texting, that means you're not shopping. You have to pull to the side and start this dialogue. And I found with this customer, I should allow myself more time to shop it because it also was a large order. This order was not as large as the one I just did prior, but it was about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so about 21 items, and this is my third order. So it wasn't that many things. It was just that because I was at the downtown location, which kind of screwed me up on knowing where things were, was that the layout of the store is way different than the layout of the store I work at. So I really was lost. Even though I had shopped in this location before, I was really lost in where things were. And I did ask for help, and I did get some help along the way, which was really nice. But a lot of things were out, and it was a lot of texting back and forth for substitutions and adding things in. So with this customer, she wasn't as communicative as the second customer was and the first one was. But towards the end, she started getting really communicative on and she kept adding things on to the order, which now delays you more, looking for this particular item, texting back, do you want this one? Because now they're leaving it up to you to figure out what exactly they want. So finally, I ended up shopping this order. It's almost completed. I texted I'm pretty much done. So what happened was right before I was about to go, I had hit the delivered button, which I shouldn't have hit. Big no-no. When I did that took off the address, and I didn't realize that I had no idea what address it was. It was a big mistake. So I ended up having trouble with my Wi-Fi. The other thing was, thank God I did not leave Publix at the time, because Publix had free Wi-Fi. This goes back to what I was saying originally about the issues I was having with my phone and my data. I wasn't aware that my data wasn't working, even though I had it turned on. For some odd reason, when I changed over phones, the service I have never configured my phone or sent me the text message to configure it. So I've been paying for cell phone service with data for several months, not knowing that I didn't really have it, because every place I went to had Wi-Fi, and it just never occurred to me. So that was one issue I ran across with my phone and my phone service. The other issue that didn't really quite hit me that day, battery power, but I was good on my battery, oddly enough, that day. And I ended up having to call headquarters and letting them know what was going on with the order, and I didn't have the address. So they were really helpful. The guy that I spoke to was really helpful. He kind of encouraged me. He's like, don't beat yourself up. This happens all the time. I was really stressed about being late because I had just texted a customer and let her know that I'm on my way. And I think her delivery was a 7 to 8 time slot, and mind you, my receipt is dated at 7:54. So I already knew I was going to be late, but when all of these complications happened, I wasn't expected to be this late. So the guy was really encouraging, because my first day was just kind of like, I really was stressing about being late for the order and disappointing, the client, the customer, and I just was already almost wanted to give up, but I'm not one to give up so very easily. So headquarters prompted me through, gave me a pep talk and said, we're going to put the order back on with the address, and you'll be fine, just be apologetic, which I am. I was apologetic to the customer, and I really wanted to get the item to the customer, because based upon the things that she had ordered, these were things that were needed for a child's lunch. I have 2 children myself. So I knew that I could not let her down. I needed to deliver these items. I had to get it to her no matter what. And I didn't want to pass it off to someone else and not be able to apologize in person for my lateness. So I ended up navigating there, and I got to her house. And when I got to her house, it was a beautiful home, and husband came out. Once again, I had reusable bags, so they allowed me into their home. I set up everything and organized it. You could tell the wife was a little peeved. She was really nice, but she was a little peeved. And her child was up, school age. He was really, still up, watching TV and hanging out. And the dad, the father seemed pretty cool and nonchalant. And I figured, after I was apologetic, I did a good job of getting what they wanted. I tried to be communicative. I thought I was late, but not so late. So after that, I did no more orders, and I drove home. She did not give me a cash tip, and subsequently, as of now, I still haven't received a tip on the app. So I guess she was really displeased with my service. So, after that experience, this is my first day, I still remembered what the gentleman at headquarters had said to me. He's like, don't beat yourself up. This happens to a lot of people. This is your first day. I still beat myself up when I got home. I was so disappointed in myself that I didn't please the customer enough to even want to tip me. And I can tell she was a little annoyed with it. I'm basically, 40 minutes past the delivery window. But I tried to explain a little bit to what had happened, but I'm not a person that likes to make excuses. So I really didn't have a real excuse. I mean, I had legitimate reasons why I was late, but a lot of those things end up happening as learning lessons about my phone and the data, about not hitting the wrong thing on the app, wiping the order completely out. So the first day, I have to admit, was a good learning experience. And as I do all my videos about my 14 days, I'm also going to have a lot of tips on to help people. So please stay tuned to my channel and my videos, because I really want to walk people through the real process. And I'm going to go into the third part of my video on my second day.